Okay, we got her out of there and seen some pretty good carnage. Sorry it's a little dark right here, but as you can see, there's a piece of our old clutch. So it was definitely done. So there she is up in there. You can see all the clutch material, and I mean it's totally gone. So like I said, we're gonna be doing the flywheel, get rid of that heavy dual mass flywheel, which probably weighs about 32 pounds, which is part of the reason the GT flywheel is such a massive upgrade. And taking off with the lighter flywheel isn't going to be an issue for me, especially with the 373 gears. I think this flywheel is about 16 pounds or so, so about half the weight of the stock one, which will help put, a lot more power to the ground. It's just less parasitic loss. I mean, with the stage 4 clutch and the light flywheel, if you had the stock 273 gears, you might have to kind of feather it a little bit when you're taking off, but with the gears that I'll have, it'll be about perfect. And you can see the face of the throwout bearing, pretty worn, everything. So we'll be replacing that puppy. And yeah, so we got her out of there. Next, I'm gonna zip that off, and I'll show you guys the carnage in there. So this car has about 150,000 miles on it, and this looks to be all the original stuff. So she's definitely about time to come down. But yeah, I'll see you guys here in a second. Let me yank this puppy off. Okay, as you can see, she is just absolutely gone. All the clutch material is just sheared right off it. Just gone, the original clutch in there. And I'm sure those 20-inch wheels weren't doing this car any favors. I'm going to be looking to sell those and put an 18-inch on it, which will take a lot of load off the drivetrain. I mean, the 373 gears and all that in the new clutch will help to give the drivetrain a little more of a leverage advantage over the large diameter wheel and tire. But either way, even if you have a GT car, the real reality is 20s are just going to slow you down. Like, even if you think they look cool, if you're serious about racing, they suck. So here's the dual mass flywheel. It doesn't look like it sheared the pins off it like I thought maybe, but either way, it's on its way out. I mean, you're not supposed to just be able to move those springs, and they're that easy. I mean, it's just, she's pretty much gone too. Those are the pins that they can shear off right there, but these dual mass flywheels were just junk. It's just unbeknownst why Ford put that in there in the V6 car. Now, isn't it super heavy? I mean, they put them in some foreign cars or luxury vehicles that have stick because it makes the drivetrain engage a little more smoothly. But in a base version Mustang, there's no reason why they wouldn't have just put a single mass flywheel in here like they do in the GT. It's not like it's like some kind of luxury car or something. So this flywheel was a pretty big handicap for the V6. Like I said, I looked online, they're about 32 pounds, which is freaking crazy. So yeah, let me go ahead and get this out of here, and we'll go ahead and start getting our new flywheel in there. Here's the new bolts. Let's see here. Those are the new flywheel ones, which is absolute must. And don't forget to put Loctite. Let me see if you guys can see that. My phone's having a hard time focusing. Let's see here. M-6379C Coyote flywheel bolts, and then I don't know, my phone's not focusing that well. Anyways, M6397B46 new pressure plate bolts, both Ford. So yeah, anyways, let's go ahead and yank all that old junk out of there, and we'll put in our lightweight flywheel and stage 4 clutch and get this bad boy. There she is in there. Got the lightweight flywheel torqued down to spec, Loctited. The new Ford Motorsports flywheel bolts. Got the ceramic stage 4 clutch in there with the heavy duty pressure plate torqued down to spec with the new pressure plate bolts. There's 6 of those puppies on there. Got the dowel pins in there. The clutch is aligned. So yeah, we are gonna go ahead and jam the trans back in there and get her done so I can start on the gears. Alright, well, back here, I had to cut out a little early yesterday to go out of town, but We are going to go ahead and bolt on the spacer and then the slave cylinder. So that this 3/4 inch spacer is the key to being able to use the GT clutch on the 3.7 liter 6-cylinder. So that bad boy will go on there, and then your slave on top of there. And of course you want to put a new one of those while you're there. So yeah, that's what's going to allow it to work. And then you have to get new bolts, because the stock ones, of course, or even the ones that come with that spacer, aren't long enough. And so yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and bolt that on and just get her put back together so we can get on to putting in the gears. All right, guys, we fast forwarded to the transmission is in there. I still got to button up some minor stuff, bolt up the cross member and hook up a few things, but the shifter's on and some of the bell housing bolts, and I confirmed everything's shifting good and the clutch is pumped up and stuff like that. So you got to be careful sometimes when you do these MT82s. If you bang them around too much, the detents will get knocked out of place. So I had a GT that I did before where I had to kind of reset the detents in it, but this thing almost got a little squirrely on us, and one of the sensors got banged up, and I was going to take it off, but I should have, but that's how it goes sometimes. So I'll have to kind of straighten the tanks out on that puppy and get it back together, replace it. But that's one of the things you got to watch out for, is a sensor. But I didn't drain the tranny, so I didn't want to pull that sensor off and lose my fluid. So, but yeah, I'm probably gonna end up having to anyways. But yeah, I mean, that's minor stuff. It's back in there at least. So the GT clutch is in it. So we're gonna be fast forwarding and moving to the 8.8 gear install. We got the master bearing and install kit, new crush collar, shims, pinion seal, the new bearings, and that is our takeout set from the Ford Explorer that we got a super crazy deal on. And the wear pattern looks good, and it's got the original shim underneath that pinion bearing, which is important because it saves a lot of time on setup, because it gives you kind of a baseline to work off of. Now, there are some variances from housing to housing and race to race, but generally speaking, the original factory shim from the setup is either pretty much going to be right on the money in my experience, or if not, a really close starting point. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and just get the rear end blown apart and get these gears in here, and I will hit you guys up here in a little while.